Howdy remarketing fans and welcome back. In this lecture we're going to explore the Google AdWords remarketing list builder. From wherever you are in your AdWords account, you're going to go over to the left hand side and click on Shared Library. As you know, this brings us to the Shared Library page where we have the ability to navigate either by the left or in the main area to our Audiences section. Once our audience section is loaded up, like we've explored already, you have a list of all your different remarketing audiences that you've created up until now here in this report. But what we want to do is use the remarketing list builder to create a new remarketing list. So we're going to simply go ahead and click the plus remarketing list red button, and Google's going to give us 4 different options of remarketing list types to create: website visitors, mobile app users, customer emails, and YouTube users. Because we're primarily focused on retargeting our website visitors, we're going to select website visitors. And now we're presented with the basic remarketing list builder. We can name our remarketing list now, or we can do it later. Our first remarketing list is going to be a simple remarketing list targeting anybody who came to our Contact Us page. So click on Contact Us page visitors. That's what we'll type in as our remarketing list name. Who you add to your list. This is an important menu item. Google's going to give us 6 different options of remarketing list templates to start off with. Visitors of a page, which is what we're going to use first. Visitors of a page who do not visit another page. Visitors of a page who also visited another page. Visitors of a page during specific dates. Visitors of a page with a specific tag, which is something that we're not going to be focusing on because all our data is being tracked with the one Google remarketing tag, and a custom combination. Once we've created multiple lists, we'll be able to create combinations of lists. That's where we're getting into these positive and negative exclusion lists that we've talked about earlier in the course. So let's begin by selecting visitors of a page, which is the default selection anyway, and Google's giving us the ability now over here to add the actual page we want our remarketing list to contain. So let's jump over to, we could jump over to, let's say, AudioEye's website or our website. It doesn't matter, just for the demonstration purposes, but you're familiar with AudioEye already. And we'll click on Contact. So here's our contact page, simple enough. We'll go ahead and grab the end of the URL. We don't need to grab the entire URL. We'll copy that and we'll simply paste that into the AdWords dashboard. We can estimate the list size. Over here, we're going to get this list as empty because we're not in AudioEye's AdWords account. But if we were to go to our contact page and we grab the URL, we went back, we removed that rule and we pasted in the new one, and we estimated the list size. We have 0 to 1,000 list members. AdWords doesn't really give us an exact number, which is frustrating. That's why it's not so important to focus on the exact number here, but just that you have the green check shows that there are at least cookies being tracked on that page or whatever rules you could create. We have the option over here to include past users who match these rules. Typically, you're going to want to keep this checkbox selected unless it's a time-sensitive remarketing audience you're creating. For example, if you're running, let's say, a new promotion or it's a limited time sale, you might not want to remarket to people who have been on this list previously. You might only want to remarket to people joining this list starting now. But in most cases, keep that checkbox selected. Once again, you have your membership duration, how long a cookie will last on a user's browser, how long they will be eligible for remarketing ads for this specific list. Default is 30 days. You could change it. You can make it any number up to 540 days. Currently, the maximum membership duration on AdWords is 540 days. Let's say I wanted to make it 90 days, and I could add a description to this list if the title of my list was not enough. Once you get more complicated with your URL rules, you might find a description very useful. Once you're done, you can go ahead and click Save. But let's stay on this screen a little bit longer. By clicking on Show Advanced Options, you have the ability to create multiple rule sets to create more complex URL-based rules. For example, you could do URL contains, equals, starts with, ends with, does not equal, so on and so forth. This is very similar to what we've seen in Google Analytics. We don't need to go through each one in particular. But you can create rules that they contain, they don't contain, and you can create additional rule sets over here that will help sculpt, narrow, and kind of focus your remarketing audiences. If we want to click Hide Advanced Options, we go back to this initial rule we created. Let's explore a couple of these other options in the Google AdWords remarketing audience list. Let's say we wanted to create a list of visitors of a page who did not visit another page. So by selecting that template, it removes the initial rule we created. So let's jump back over to AudioEye's website for a second. Let's say we wanted to create a list for anybody who viewed the education section of our site, but did not view the customer success stories section of our site. So go back and simply grab the URL of the education section, go back to AdWords, and we'll select people who visited a page with any of the following. So we could do for education. If we wanted to say, or they URL contains, or URL, let's say, equals, and we wanted to say they could have also visited the government section, right? So we'll take that URL. We could also add a rule for anybody who visited the enterprise section. And these are all business categories. So this is, if you're getting a sense of what we're doing here strategically, we're saying all visitors who engaged looked for something to do with business, a business solution to this product, but didn't visit a page with any of the following. And then we'll go over to the customer success stories, and we'll do the end of the URL, the subdomains associated with the success stories URLs, and we'll go ahead and be able to click save. Of course, we're going to have to rename this list because it's not contact us page visitors anymore. It's now business section visitors minus case study page. And you could also add the description right from this section over here. Go ahead and click save. And if you want to go ahead and edit that audience again, we simply click on the title of the audience as opposed to the pencil icon. And we're now brought into the actual audience insights page, and we can go ahead and click on the pencil icon up here over the remarketing list summary to be able to bring up our builder again and edit any of the rules we created. Let's go ahead and clear out these rules and say we wanted to create a different type of list. Bringing up our slide of our sample audiences that we might want to create again. Let's say we take a look at this list over here, business section plus case study view, and we have our negative lists. So how would we go ahead and configure this? Let's go back into AdWords, and once you clear out the rules inside a specific audience, you're not able to change the audience template again. Let's go ahead and click cancel, go back to audiences, and create a new website visitors remarketing list. We'll name this people section plus case study view. And what we're going to want to select under the who to add to your list menu is visitors of a page who also visited another page. So for the visitors of the first page, we'll want to do anybody who visited the people section, grab the URL, paste it in, and visitors who also visited any of the following pages, which is going to be a case study page. We'll go find the customer success story page. We'll find the customer success story page. We can grab the subdomain customer success stories, paste it in. We could write a description, and we'll go ahead and click save. So let's say people section plus case study view. Okay, now we're going to want to create another remarketing list, which we're going to use later as a negative list. So we'll create a new positive remarketing list. Let's go back to our slide for a moment. And just looking at it here, it looks like I accidentally flipped things around. I created a positive list with the people section, and our negative list was supposed to be the people section, but that doesn't matter. We could just, for the sake of this scenario, we could just flip it around. So our positive list was the people section plus case study view, and our negative list will be anybody who viewed the business section. Because remember, the idea strategically behind doing this is that one of these sections is more profitable. We might have people coming to multiple lists. So let's say somebody came to the people section and also the business section. I want to specifically be able to remarket to people who viewed the people section. So I'm going to create a negative list of anybody who viewed the business section page, but I'm going to create it first as a positive list. So business page visitors. And we can say all business page visitors because we're not going to qualify it with anything else. And visitors of a page, we'll go over to the for business, grab the URL, bring it back, we'll paste it in, and we'll go ahead and click save. So that's a basic overview and introduction to creating very useful remarketing lists inside Google AdWords. We cover naming your remarketing list. We cover the most popular configurations, visitors of a page, visitor of a page who did not visit another page, and visitors of a page who also visited another page. Keep in mind, you always want to remember your business's strategy. You want to create as many lists as possible. Don't worry about creating too many lists. You're always going to be able to use them in conjunction with each other. You'll always be able to edit them. And there's nothing wrong with creating a lot of lists because you're not really using those lists until you make them active inside an actual advertising campaign. We spoke about membership duration, including past users who match these rules. We took a look at the advanced options. And in the next lecture, we're going to go ahead and use custom combinations to create those remarketing lists that are based on sculpting traffic to where we want them to go in case certain users are going to be added to multiple lists. That will be the final step in understanding the Google AdWords remarketing list builder. Thanks very much for watching this one. I look forward to speaking to you guys soon in the next lecture.